our managers now are looking on our maps, and those sites are beginning to start to appear as, instead of blank spaces, they're starting to appear as potential assets. A few years ago, we finally started doing wetland mitigation banking, and my understanding is that today Weyerhauser is very close to being the largest wetland mitigation bank owner in the United States. And that's been a tremendous resource for us. Not a terribly difficult thing to do. We've done it in collaboration with, partnership with Nature Conservancy and Ducks Unlimited and other conservation groups who hold the conservation easements and teach us how to do restoration forestry on those lands to restore the wetland attributes, and in some cases things like longleaf pine. So the values that we get far exceed their values in timber production, and so as a result we don't have to have any arguments about doing it. As long as we can keep the transaction costs down, that's a very big deal, and have the agencies be willing to support those, which is the source of the transaction costs. Those things are eminently doable. So we're moving from a paradigm of kind of black and white production, non-production lands to a much more integrated paradigm. There are a number of barriers to thinking about that and doing it. There are risks, and this report does a great job, I think, of starting to identify those barriers and identify the opportunities. Like agriculture, forestry has a tremendous capacity to increase productivity. On our lands, we have doubled and tripled the amount of wood we grow per period of time from so-called natural forests, and we do it using some pretty darn simple technologies like tree planting. Don't tell anybody, it's a secret, but we double the rate of growth of trees on our land simply by planting the trees instead of waiting for Mother Nature to drop a seed from some nearby place. And some of the things are as simple as that and as positive as that. And we can take these technologies, we can use them much more extensively within the U.S. We've got a capacity to greatly increase forest biomass production, and then also internationally, where you see tremendous problems of forest deforestation and forest degradation that are driven, in part by normal development, land development for other purposes, partly by just purely extractive uses because the underlying land in sustainable forestry uses isn't valued enough. Those are bigger challenges, many diverse causes, lots of governance issues, but the work we're doing in the U.S. helps us collect some of those lessons that we can take and use in other parts of the world. So I've been excited to be part of this process. I'm honored to represent the forestry community in it, and with that I'll talk and be happy to answer questions.